Real Betis, 5th in La Liga, 53 points, plus 11 goal difference. 10 points behind 4th, 6 clear of 6th. That is, by a long margin, the most boring claim you can make about this season.
The interesting one is how they got there. 13 wins, 7 losses, and 14 draws, more than any other team in La Liga. The team that wouldn't lose anything it didn't have to lose. 41% of their matches drawn, more than double the rate of any side above them in the table. The next most draws side is Rayo on 12. Barcelona, top of the league, has drawn 1 all season. Betis are doing this from 5th, where every meeting is not an even matchup.
Teams that pile up draws like this are usually mid-table or worse. Rayo, Girona, Elche, Oviedo, stuck between 12th and 20th, where draws fall out of even matchups against equals. Betis aren't surviving games they should lose. They're leaving wins on the table. If this had been a hot finishing season, the obvious critique would be they're not really this good. If it had been cold, the critique would be they should be 3rd. Neither is available. 53 points against 54.6 expected, plus 11 goal difference against plus 11.3, variance minus 1.6. Over 34 games, that is what 0 looks like in football.
Every team above them in the table is converting underlying performance into points at a rate the data flags as unsustainable. Barcelona plus 14.7, Real Madrid plus 7, Villarreal plus 9.7, Atletico plus 7.5. Betis are the only top 5 side where the table reads exactly like the data.
Real Betis' 5th place is the most structurally robust finish in the top 8. If the season ran another 34 matches, no other team in the league would project to the same points total with this level of confidence. They are taking what they earn. Not more, not less.
1.27 expected goals conceded per match, 3rd best in La Liga, behind only Real Madrid and Athletic Club. 189 deep entries allowed, 4th fewest. 41 goals conceded, equal 4th with Atletico Madrid. That is not the shape of a mid-table team. That is the shape of one of the 4 genuinely good defensive sides in the country. The whole is the goalkeeper line. Vallés is plus 2.4 saves above expected, modest. Courtois is plus 8.9. Unai Simon is minus 7.5. Betis are getting league average goalkeeping behind league elite chance suppression. That is the order in which it should happen. Chances first, saves later. You'd expect a top 3 XGA to come from one of 2 playbooks: a high press that wins the ball before the opposition can build, or a low block that absorbs encounters. Pellegrini's Betis are neither. PPDA 15.03, the 2nd least aggressive press in La Liga, ahead of only Villarreal. They defend at 37.6 on the Who Scored 0 to 100 scale, just under halfway, right on the league median. They wave opposition midfielders past the center circle, but they are not retreating either. They hold the line and force build-up to come through a compact 4-4-2 block, not around it. The compactness shows up downstream. 189 deep entries allowed. Only 3 teams concede fewer. The 2 ahead of them on the XGA table, Madrid and Athletic, both press higher, more aggressively. Betis suppress the same way without doing it. That's the Pellegrini fingerprint. 52 goals through 34 games, 6th in the Liga. 6 players between 3 and 8 goals each. Nobody has reached double figures. The attack is shared, and that's the point.
Antony, 12 goals plus assists. Cucho, 11. Ezalzuli, 11. Fornals, 11. 4 threats, all within 1 G plus A of each other, all producing between 0.4 and 0.6 goals plus assists per 90. That is not depth tapering. That is depth, period.
Antony's 12 is the lowest team top scorer figure among La Liga's top 5 teams, tied with Atletico's Julian Alvarez. Mbappé is on 27, Yamal 26. Betis's most dangerous attacker is producing at roughly the same rate as Atletico's. They're a division apart on the table.
Pablo Fornals leads the squad in key passes, 71. He generates only 38 shots himself, but feeds the chain. Hector Bellerin,
The right back is the team's third highest creator, 21 key passes, 3.67 expected assists from 1,300 minutes. Fullback creation accounts for a meaningful share of the chance generation. That fits the way a mid-block side has to break compact opposition lines.
There is no "he could have had 18" hidden in the data. Antony's 7 goals match his 7.08 expected. Cucho, 8 goals on 9.26. Alzuli, 6 goals on 7.77. Whatever finishing variance is in the half to 2 goal range, not the kind of variance that turns a 5th-place team into a 3rd-place one.
7 matches against the 4 teams above them, 8 points, 1.14 per game. Reasonable. Atletico managed 0.86 against the same opponents. Real Sociedad 0.71. What's interesting is the shape.
February 8th, Atletico Madrid, away. Betis dominated nothing. 0.84 expected goals to 0.63. They converted the one meaningful chance and held the rest. 1-0 at the Metropolitano, the first time anyone won there in 25-26. Barcelona matched it in April. Nobody else has.
January 4th, the trip to the Bernabéu, 1-5, 0.97 expected goals to 3.01. One of the only 2 genuine outclassings of the season. The other came at San Mamés in March. Late April, Madrid at home, 1-1 on a 1.02 to a 1.10 xG line, a day Madrid had every incentive to win. Drawing at home with the European places no longer at stake is the kind of result top 5 teams casually drop. Instead, it became another point in the column that defines the season.
Against the genuinely mid-table sides, places 11 through 15, Betis are 4 wins, 5 draws, 0 losses across 9 fixtures. The XG line favors them by plus 4.6. The points return is 17 of a possible 27. 5 draws is the cheapest version of didn't lose, and it costs 4 points per failed conversion.
April 5th, Espanyol at home, 2.00 expected goals to 0.14. By the underlying numbers, one of the most one-sided matches of the entire La Liga season. It finished 0-0. That kind of zero conversion afternoon happens once or twice a year to most clubs. For Betis, the pattern was the season in miniature. March 1st, the derby at home. Betis ran a 1.48 to 0.66 xG line and conceded a 2-2 draw. 2 points dropped against the neighbors in the home leg of the derby. The kind of points fans tally up at the end of a season they wanted more from. Out of 34 matches, only 7 defeats, 3 at home, 4 on the road. 3 of them came when Betis posted a higher XG than the opponent. The home loss to Atletico, 1.34 to 0.88. The away loss at Alaves. The away loss at Getafe. 3 matches Betis statistically dominated and lost. Stack those 3 losses with the Espanyol 0-0 and the Sevilla 2-2. 5 fixtures Betis statistically dominated, 2 points won out of a possible 15. Convert just 2 of those into wins instead of losses or draws, and Betis sit on 57, 4 behind 4th instead of 10. Longest unbeaten run, 5 matches, 3 times. Longest losing streak, 1 match. Real Betis have not lost back-to-back league fixtures all season. Every loss was followed by a draw or a win. That, more than any single tactical fingerprint, is what produced 53 points. Not surge weeks. A refusal to let a bad afternoon turn into a bad fortnight.
Pellegrini has built a team whose floor is high enough that a single bad month doesn't cost them a European place, and whose ceiling is decided in the matches where they outshoot the opposition by a goal of expected production and finish level. The 14 draws are not a bug in the system. They are the system, viewed from the side that didn't quite convert.
Real Betis's 25-26 is a season made out of absences. No dominant attacker, no breakout teenager, no keeper carrying the team, no tactical revolution. Find one finisher who turns 1.79 xG into 2 on a regular basis, and the team that wouldn't lose becomes a team that wins. Until then, the table is correct, the underlying numbers are correct, and Real Betis are exactly where they should be.
A team that earned its fifth.